So the idea with electric field lines is that field lines can never cross, and that positive always attracts towards negative. So if we look at example number 1 here, we can see that the field lines are going to go out in every direction. So they are attracting. If we look at example number 2, it's just a negative particle, and that is being attracted. So what does that look like? Well, if we look at example number 3, this is where we have two particles, a positive particle and a negative particle. And we can see that the attraction is going to follow a pattern that looks something like this. Now, eventually, because field lines can't cross, this positive piece on the left can't always attract to the negative on the right. So eventually, the attraction will just be outward like this, and this negative particle will be attracted from other things. Now, example 4 and 5 are examples of particles that are being repulsed. And what we can see is, in this particular case, with number 4 and number 5, both of them have particles of equal strength, so they're going to have equal repulsion forces. And it's going to look something like this, where the positive piece is repelling equally in a manner like this, and then the rest of the arrows represent attraction to other positive particles. Example number 5 is going to look very similar, but the arrows are going to be reversed because remember, this is attracting other particles. If we look at example number 6 here, what we can see is that there's going to be both attraction and repulsion occurring here. So I'm just going to draw in sort of a green line here to divide up my ideas. And what you're going to see is that we're going to see attraction occurring towards this negative particle and towards this negative particle. And then there will be traction towards other particles. Now these negative particles are repelling, so we're going to see something that looks like this. For example number 7, we see there are 4 particles here, 2 that are repelling and 2 that are attracting. So I'm going to draw a green line in here yet again to indicate that this is what's going on, and we can see that this positive piece will attract to this negative, this positive piece is going to attract to this negative, and the same thing will be true over here. And we can see how even just with these 4 arrows here, how attraction is occurring from the positive piece to the negative piece in several directions, and how there's repulsion to the 2 like charges. We'll just add a few more field lines in here because the number of lines indicate the field strength. So if we have an area with more lines, it means there is a stronger electric field. Our last 2 examples we're going to take a look at right here is yet again we're going to have attraction or repulsion, but the difference is in both example 8 and 9, we have a charge that's 3 times higher on the left compared to the right. So instead of it being an even attraction, we're going to see it's sort of an uneven attraction. So we can see more arrows from this positive charge are coming towards the negative in this side versus previous examples that we've looked at. And yet again, number 9 is going to have repulsion. Before, we had a dotted line down the center to indicate that would be equal repulsion, but that's not occurring in this case. In this particular case, we have way more repulsion coming from the larger charge. So we're going to end up with something more like this.